6 questions to change your life. This right here, you guys, is some of the best. I'm so excited. The 6 questions to ask yourself in order to have the best year of your life. How many of you right now are ready to have the best year of your life? You guys ready for that? This is it. This is it. Here's where it happens, okay, right here. First question is this. How well have I defined my why? How well have I defined my why? You have to ask yourself, where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? You have to ask yourself, guess what, right? Where do I want to live? What do you want your life to look like? We got to define that why. How well have you really truly defined your why? Visualize it, man. That's the master circuit that we talked about in the talent code training. You got to get the big picture of where you want to, what you want your life to look like. Better yet is who do you want to help out? Maybe some of you want to help out a family member. Figure out what your why is. What's your driving force? What's going to motivate you? What's going to be your bridge, guess what? Over troubled waters. Where sometimes you doubt yourself and you doubt that it can happen. And then you dig down deep and say, you know what, I'm going to win no matter what. You got to define that why, okay? Bottom line is this, okay? You know, who do I want to be? And that's the most important question, man. I sit down with my kids and I do goal setting sessions with my older kids, and I ask my oldest son, I say, look, people are going to ask you, man, you're a junior in high school, they're going to ask you, what do you want to do? I go, people that are asking you what you want to do have no clue at all, okay? When someone asks you that, that person has no clue at all. That person, you just run from that person because they're lost. Okay, it might be your counselor, but she has no clue. Don't ask yourself what you want to do. Ask yourself, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be as a person? That's number one. If you don't know who you want to be, then it doesn't matter what you do. Then I ask them, I say, what do you want to be? Now, the second question is, what do you want your life to look like? And once we know who we want to be and what you want your life to look like, then we figure out what we got to do to get there. But don't get caught up in method of travel until you know where you're going. Most people, they're worried about what? Method of travel. Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? That's the key. Then we'll figure out what we got to do. Do you guys see that? So here it is. Bottom line is what? Second question we have to ask ourselves is what? Okay? What is the big picture? Okay, got it, man. I know what I want my life to look like. I'm ready to make it happen. What does the big picture, guess what, look like? Bottom line is this. You guys already know you build 2 teams here. Very simple. You build a distribution network. You build a team of people. Prime examples of what? If you have 1,000 agents over here with 5 VIP customers or elite customers, you have 2,000 here with 5 elites or VIPs, boom, you're making $45,000 a month. Did you guys catch that? Might as well. It's right there. Why would you not want to make an extra $45,000 a month? Do you guys get it? That's the big picture. That's what we're doing. Look, that's it. I mean, and I'm just saying $45,000 a month. It could be a lot more than that, but I'm just saying the big picture is that. $45,000 a month is a good place to start because guess what? That's where most of your problems are going to go away. Because most of you don't have problems. You got expenses. Isn't it true? Huh? Watch this. Okay? How do I develop my bulletproof mindset? Okay? So we got it, right? The big picture, we're building a big distribution network. We're going to go out there and teach, train, and develop leaders all across the United States, all across the world, and we're going to make it happen. So ask yourself, how do I develop that bulletproof mindset? First thing you have to ask yourself is what? What gets me to my Popeye point? What gets me to my Popeye point where it's like, look, that's all I can stand, I can't stand no more. Better yet is what? If you know, bottom line is this. If right now a Bengal tiger came in here, why would you fight it? Why would you fight a Bengal tiger? Do you guys see that? Somebody's like, I wouldn't fight a Bengal tiger. I'm not just going to fight a Bengal tiger. I'm going to also teach it how to ride a bicycle. Do you guys get that? You know what I mean? Boom. Why would you do that? You're not going to go fight a Bengal tiger for a pin, for a rank. Do you guys see it? But you fight a Bengal tiger for your family. You fight a Bengal tiger for the people that you love. Do you guys see it? You got to understand, hey, look, you know what? This is it. This is my time. How do I develop that bulletproof mindset? Question number 3 is this. Right? I know that I'm the one that's going to make it happen. If it is to be, guess what? It is up to me. Okay? The revolution is not an apple that falls when it's ripe. You've got to make it fall. You got to decide right now that, hey, this is it. I'm going to step up. I'm going to get the job done. I'm going all out. I'm going to make it happen. Here's what I'll share with you is this. You got to say, hey, look, you know what? I've identified the problem and I found the solution. Jim Rohn's mentor, William Bailey, says what? Whether you like it or not, you look in the mirror, that is your problem, and that is your solution. Do you guys see it? There it is. The 6 inches in between your left and right ear. That's what I'm talking about. Here's what I'll share with you. You have to believe with all of your heart. Now we got to talk about the heart. You got to believe with all my, I believe with all my heart that I'm going to make it happen. I've raised my belief system to a point that no matter what, there's nothing that can knock me out of the box with this opportunity. One individual can begin a movement that will turn the tides of history. Jack Canfield once said. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Og Mandino talks about, guess what? Filling your heart with love. One of my favorite books of all time in the history of the universe, greatest salesman in the world, Og Mandino. Says, I will greet this day with love in my heart. I will greet this day with love in my heart, for this is the greatest secret weapon of success in all ventures. It says, muscle can split shield and even destroy life, but the unseen powers of love can open the hearts of men. And until I've mastered this art, I will remain no more than a peddler in the marketplace. I will make love my greatest weapon, and none who I call upon it can defend this force. Yeah. Don't make me love you. Because that has nothing to do with you. Do you guys see that? Here's what I share with you. Right, here's what he goes on to say. And how will I speak? I will laud my enemies, and they will become my friends. I will encourage my friends, and they'll become my brothers. Always will I dig for reasons to applaud. Never will I scratch for excuses to gossip. When I'm tempted to criticize, I will bite my tongue. When I am moved by praise, I will shout from the roofs. And how will I greet this day? With love in my heart. Watch what he says. Oh, my God. And how will I act? I will love all manners of men, for each has qualities to be admired, even though they may be hidden. With love, I will tear down the walls of suspicion and hate which they have built around their hearts. And in place, I will build bridges so my love may enter their souls. Wow. I could think all day and not even come up with that one. Like, what? That guy's a genius. So here it is, you guys. We got our hearts full. Now what's the next thing we got to work on? Getting that bulletproof mindset. Step number 4 is I can clearly see the outcome. Visualize this thing that you want. Okay? See it. Feel it. Believe it. Make mental blueprints and begin to build it. We got to be able to, guess what? We got to be able to see it, man. We got to be able to see the outcome. I like what Dr. DeRue says, right? Guy, he's a genius. He says, the most expensive piece of real estate is the 6 inches between your right and left ear. It's what we create in that area that determines our wealth. We are only really limited by our minds. That's it. It's time to go all out. Watch what he says. Oh, my God. Take continuous action day in and day out. Zig Ziglar. Don't let Zig show up. Zig's here, too? You guys let Zig in the building? Zig Ziglar's coming to the show. He says anything worth doing is worth doing poorly until it's learned to do well. You see what I'm saying? I'm just, all I'm doing, you know what I mean? That's all I'm doing. I'm just sitting close to the smart kids. Right now what they do. There it is, you guys. First step, prime the pump. In the game of life, before you get anything out, you got to put something in. So we got to prime the pump. Step number 2, don't stop now. Don't stop now. If you do, the water will go all the way back down, and it'll have to start all over again. Don't stop now. Guess what? Just one more time. This is what I do know. This is what I do know. With beyond any reasonable doubt, regardless of whatever you're doing, if you pump long enough and hard enough and enthusiastically enough, sooner or later, the effort will bring the reward. Oh my God. How good is that to know? That means that you can't be stopped, but you got to get out of your comfort zone. Woo! Watch this. Golly. How do we get that bulletproof mindset? I'm going to block out the dream stealers and lock arms with the dream builders. I love Napoleon Hill. Everything he says is magical. Keep your mind closed, okay, to people who will depress you or discourage you in any way. Deliberately. Go to the movement convention is what he said. Deliberately seek the company of people who influence you to think and act for yourself. What? Watch what he says. Watch what Jim Rohn says. We had Jim in here too. He wanted to be a part of the training. I said, Jim, come on. Why would we not? We'll actually talk. He's going to close out bulletproof mindset so we can move forward to question number 4. Watch this. Evaluate your associations. Watch this. Never underestimate the power of influence. There are 2 parts to influence. The first, influence is powerful. Second, influence is subtle. You won't let someone push you off course, but you might let someone nudge you off course and not even realize it. Oh, here's what he says. Here's what he says. He says evaluate your associations. He says 3 questions to ask yourself of your influences. He says question number 1, who am I around? Take an inventory. Take an inventory. He says number 2, right? What are these associations doing to me? Step number 3 is it okay? Is it okay? Here's what he says. How do you handle this association? Some people you have to disassociate with. They're headed for disaster. They're headed for disaster. You got to watch out. Okay? You got to disassociate yourself from some people. Might not be easy to do. Might be hard to do. Nancy Reagan said, just say no. that's too strong, then you might say, no, thank you. You know what I mean? Some people got to disassociate with. Step number 2, it says limit your association. Some people, you can be around a few hours, but not a few days. Some people a few days, but not a few weeks. And then he says expand your association. Expand your association. He says find a voice of value and stay for a while. That's why you turn your car into a mobile classroom. That's why you go to the regionals. That's why you get on the webinars. Do you guys see that? That's why we go to the movement event. What would happen if we had all the 7-figure ring earners fly in and hang out with you for the next 5 days, for the next 3 days? Just follow you around. Do you guys see that? We got Sungman Kim flying from Korea. We got Chris Kim. We got Tiffany Malak coming, John Malak. We got Cindy Denny, Josh Denny, all going to come hang out with you. Well, that's crazy, because that's not duplicatable. Do you guys see that? So instead of doing that, why don't they all just come together? We can go pick their brains. Is that smart? Do you guys see how smart that is? That's what we're doing. That's why the movement's so key. So let's talk about question number 4. Why do I want to make the national events mandatory? Thank you very much. Hope you got your mental track shoes on right now, because sometimes you got to pay attention to something other than, guess what? People that make a lot of sense. Sometimes you got to pay attention to geese that make a lot of sense. Just so you know. A lot of you guys know are experts about geese. I didn't know a lot about geese until I started to study them. Fact number 1 about geese: as each bird flaps its wing, it creates an uplift of the bird for the birds that are following. By flying, guess what? In a V formation, the whole flock at 71% greater flying range than if, guess what, one bird flew alone. Watch this. The lesson you got to take from that is, guess what? When an agent gets started, we must register them immediately for the national event. Immediately for the national event. Agents who share a common direction and sense of community can get to where they want to go quicker and easier because they're traveling on the strings of one another. Just like geese. Just like geese. Do you get what I'm saying? Watch what happens here. This is number 2 fact about geese that many of you guys probably are well aware of. Whenever a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to fly alone and quickly gets back into formation to take advantage of the lifting powers of the birds immediately in front. So picture that. Guess what? The obvious lesson is easy to learn there. From what I take from that is when an agent isn't committed to attending the next national, they will begin to face many challenges and simple tasks will become difficult. You're going to have people that are going to be like, man, you know, I'm having trouble getting on the webinar. Well, did you push www then dot whatever the deal is? Did you? I tried to get on the conference call, couldn't figure it out. You have to hit the numbers in the right sequence. It's very difficult. Do you guys see that? Something that's so basic, some people are struggling with. Seriously, you guys have people here right now in this market that told you they're going to be here, that they didn't show up. And I took a red eye from Los Angeles. It's like, what? Did you eat a bottle of coward pills? Do you know what I mean? What? Did you get into the stupid pills? How many did you take? You know what I mean? This guy didn't graduate high school, never went to college, probably the dumbest guy that we know. Made 7 figures in this company. He's going to come show us what he did? I think that's a no-brainer. Do you guys see what I'm saying? All I'm telling you guys is what? You got to show up. You got to learn. You got to grow. But guess what? It becomes difficult if people aren't registered. The people that aren't having success are the ones that aren't registered. Oh, I'm going to do it later. Later? Later? Oh, so you're going to wait. I'm not saying anything bad about waiters. Do you guys see that? I'm a big fan of waiters. But waiters are always looking for a tip. Would you guys agree with that? Here's a tip if you're a waiter. Stop waiting. Would you agree with that? Take action, dude. Get registered now. Not someday over the rainbow. Right here, right now is the best time I know of. Oh my God. This is so good. Fact number 3 about geese that a lot of you probably already are well aware of that you might not have looked at lately. Here it is. When the lead goose gets tired, it rotates back into formation and another goose flies in the point position. Unbelievable. Watch this. Lesson that's obvious there. We must register all of our agents for the next national. So that guess what? We can develop more leaders. So we can develop more leaders. If we don't fully leverage the national events, we will burn ourselves out trying to motivate everybody. Think about that. Trying to motivate everybody yourself. Are you kidding me? Here's what we got to do. We have to believe in our agents. Believe in your agents. Trust in them and get them to the next national event so they get a chance to shine. Do you see that? You got agents right now that haven't registered. There needs to be an alarm going off right now. And a siren. Woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? We got to go save this person right now. Because every day that goes by, every week that goes by, every opportunity that passes by, guess what? They're not going to be any closer to their goals. Their dreams are waiting for them at the movement convention. Do you guys see how smart that is? Everybody's got to register right now. Fact number 4 about geese, a lot of you guys probably should, we should start looking at, is geese in formation honk. Listen to what they do. They honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. How good is that to know? Here's the obvious lesson there is go out of your way to praise agents and give them recognition for committing to attend the national. Do you see that? Yes. We're going to praise people and recognize people for effort. Does it take an effort to register? Does it take an effort to get a plane ticket? It takes effort. So we got to praise effort, don't we? Here it is. We're going to get everybody. Recognition is the mother of momentum. How beautiful is that? I want to say it again because it sounds so good. Such a delicious treat of information. Recognition is the mother of momentum. Who is momentum's mother? Recognition. I mean, always remember to constantly provide praise and recognition for agents that are committing to attending the next national event. Someone's committed to attending the next national event, boom, that's recognition right there. That's the person. That's the person that we want to focus our time and attention on. Why? Because we know that person is going to win. Here's what we'll tell you right now. Fact number 5 about geese. When a goose gets sick or wounded or shot down, 2 geese drop out of formation and follow it to help it protect it. They stay with it until it's able to fly again. Then they launch back out again together with another formation to catch up to their flock. What? Can you believe that? They're getting off course. They're not showing up. They're like, I don't know if I'm going to go to the event. Boom. 2 geese go make sure they don't fall off. Lesson that we learned there, when an agent faces challenges, we must get them to the next national event. Stand by each other in difficult times and never let an agent be left behind. Did you catch that? Yeah. We got to make sure that we get everybody there. Yes. Here's the challenge some of you guys have. Is some of you look at cost instead of reward. Some of you go, well, it costs money. I just don't want to push people to spend that much money. I'm not here to save people money. Do you guys know that? Right. I'm here to make people money. Do you guys get that? I'm not passing out coupons. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I'm here to make people wealthy. I'm not here to save people money. Do you guys get the difference? I'm here to help people become wealthy. And you got to put something in if you want to get something out, according to Zig Ziglar. Do you guys see that? Somebody says, well, if I was making as much money as you, I'd be at the event. What do you think comes first? Do you guys see what I'm saying? Commitment, man, right? Attitude, mindset, commitment. We got to say, man, we're going to make it happen no matter what. I'm going to be at that national event. I'm going to be at that national event no matter what. Ooh, God, I'm getting fired up right now. Here it is. Last fact about geese that we want to take a look at. Fact number 6 about geese. The geese migrate routes never vary. What? Huh. The geese migration routes never vary? They use the same route year after year? Even when the flock members change, the young learn the route from their parents. In the spring, they will always go back to the spot where they were born. Every time. Some of the time? Every time. Why? Because instinct and the genetic code, as Josh Wiles pointed out earlier, instinct and the genetic code is going to drive them. See, the difference between us and geese is what? Some of us think too much. Well, you know what? Geese don't negotiate with themselves. Some of you guys negotiate with yourself too much. Well, it's kind of, no, dude, no matter what. We got to go no matter what. Do you guys see the commitment? That's the key, is how committed are you? Because we already know you're going to have 400% better success if you're committed. Man, I'm getting fired up. You guys got me too pumped. This is ridiculous. So watch what happens, right? We must take our agents and commit them to return to the next national event. And oh God, look at the lesson that you can learn from this. We must make sure that agents are committed to returning to the next national. And we must stay true to our core values. We got to stay true to our core values. We must always protect our core values and register all of our agents for the next national event so they can stay on track to reaching their personal goals. I'm not here to tell people what they need to hear. Do you guys see the difference? Well, it's not easy. I'm going to have to get out of my comfort zone to make it happen. Doesn't make a difference. We're going to make it happen no matter what. God, I'm getting fired up right here, right now. Are you kidding me? Las Vegas? Yes. Today is the day, right now, where you got to say to yourself, look, you know what? I'm going to make sure I register now. Today, I'm registering for the event. You got to get to that point where you're like, look, man, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to find a way. Find a way to make it happen no matter what. That's commitment. Woo! Woo! Oh, my God. We're going to talk about registration here in a second. You want to make sure you get registered right when? Now. Now's the time more than ever before. There's never a better time to make a commitment than right now. Right now is the best time that we have, by the way. That's it. You don't, look, if you don't take action now, you're going to fall prey to the law of diminishing intent. We intend to when the idea is hot. We intend to when the information is strong. But if we don't take action, guess what? You're gonna fall apart. You're gonna, oh man, you know, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Later might never come. How about you do it right now? How about right now is the time more than ever before? We got a special treat tonight that we're going to do for everybody that we register today. I've got something special for everybody. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Step number 5, I'm going to wrap this thing up and then we're going to get everybody registered. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. Step number 1. Okay, ask yourself this, right? What are my first first simple steps? What are your first 3 steps? Step number 1. Here it is. Step number 1, we're going to wrap STAR up. Eligible to earn commissions, right? Eligible to earn team commissions and a $15 bonus. Boom. How do we do that? Very basic. Okay? Easy to do. Now, guess what? Step number 2 is superstar. Now, guess what? You can do step 2 and step 1 at the same time. Is that smart? Right. Yeah. Wrap this bad boy up already. So watch this. If you do this and you reach superstar in your first 28 days, bam, you're going to get a $200 bonus. If you do it with outside that 28-day window, okay, right, you're not going to get double the bonus. You're only going to get the original bonus, $100. So you become a superstar, you're going to get a $100 bonus. You guys do know that? Yeah. If you do it in your first 20 days, they're going to double it. Everybody help me out and say double. Double. Oh, God, double's good. They're going to double your bonus to make it 200. Okay, watch this. Plus your fast start bonuses, then are going to get doubled. Just double everything. Watch this. Fast start bonuses for every agent that you enroll with a starter set. Qualify, okay, watch this. Qualify to begin earning double fast start bonuses. So whenever you get somebody started, when you first get in, and they get obviously a basic set, you're going to get a $15 bonus. But they're going to double it to 30 when you become a what? Superstar. Bam, premium, you're going to get $100 instead of 50. They're going to double 50 into 100. Special agent, they're going to double the 150 bonus that you're going to get when you're active or star, and they're going to make it 300. So we're going to start getting double fast starts. How many of you guys want to start earning double fast star bonus? If you do, say aye. Aye. Oh, me too. This is it. Watch this. Step number 3. Here it is. Secret. Oh my God, the executive position. Now guess what? Are you allowed to get to executive? Yeah. And superstar and star at the same time? Yeah. That's like a Scooby-Doo, like that's a, you know what I mean? Like, dang, we can skip 3 steps. Watch this, at least, here it is, at least 1,000 in GV, left group volume in a rolling 4-week cycle, and 1,000 in right in a rolling 4-week cycle. Obviously, this is it. Now let me ask you a question. Bottom line is this. If you get started right now and you say to yourself, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to get a pro pack. I'm going to get a pro pack because if I want to be an executive, I first got to be a professional. Boom, I got a pro pack. And I got a pro pack on my left because people are going to do what you do, not what you say. Would you guys agree with that? And you do it on the right, automatically you clear all 3 ranks at one time. Is that okay? It's actually a great idea, okay? And here's the key. Obviously, you're going to get the watch. Watch is key. Watch is key because people do what no one wants to be the guy without a watch. You know what I mean? Like, damn, everybody's got a watch. Everybody's executive but you. You know what I mean? Like, no one wants to be left behind. Do you guys get that? So your people are going to do what you do, not what you say. You just get the watch, promote the watch, show everybody do it. Boom, everybody's going to get it. Do you guys see that? Some of you guys aren't watch people. So I'm like, I don't know, what do I want to watch for? Bottom line is this. You have to ask yourself, what time is it? Do you guys get what I mean? What time is it? It's time to change your life. Would you agree with that? Yes. How do you know if it's time to change your life? Boom, you got to look at your watch, right? You got to get... Bam, you're going to get, I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? If it's there, grab it, scoop it up, just because you don't want to be the guy with that one, right? And here it is, on-stage recognition. This is key. This is why we got to take action right now like never before. On-stage recognition at the Seacret Movement Convention. So you're going to go on stage hug the co-founders in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people that move an event. So right now is the time we got to get everybody to rank advance right now to executive. How many of you are committed to becoming an executive? If you are, say aye. You guys want to know how to do it? Here, I'll tell you how to do it. Oh my God, here it is. Ooh, plus you're going to get the $100 bonus. What? Okay, watch this. Here it is. How do I achieve my first 3 steps? It's 2 steps. I like 2 steps. I like simplicity. How many of you guys are fans of simplicity? Yes. Give me something simple. Give me something simple that I can see. Step number 1. How many of you guys ready for step number 1?
Yes.
2 steps. How many? 2. I'm going to show you 2 steps right now to accelerate yourself to executive and beyond. Oh, God, it's coming right here. Look at this. Step number 1. Step number 1. Okay? Right now, put 25 prospects in front of your presenter. How many? 25. What does that look like? Now, what's good about that? You're going to learn how to now, guess what? You're going to learn how to invite, aren't you? Yes. Think about it. If you put 25 prospects in front of your, now can you teach someone how to invite if you know how to invite? Yeah, because you know how to do it. So whether it be in a one-on-one situation and a sit-down, or you get into a wow party, people ask, what's the difference between a wow party and a sit-down? Same thing. To me, it's the same thing to more people. You call it a tomato, I call it tomato. I don't really care. We're going to tell the mission to people. You get me a group, put 100 people in a room, guess what I'm going to do? Same thing I do in a one-on-one. Same thing I do in a wow party. I'm going to tell the story. Tell the story and get excited. That's what I do. That's what I do. What do? Tell the story, get excited? That's it. We're going to tell the story and get excited for 25 people. Now, you want to watch what the presenter's saying. Whoever your presenter is, it's helping you out. At the beginning, you want to watch. Listen. Capture the information. Absorb it. You guys check that out. Watch. So first step, 25 prospects. 25 prospects. Right now, what would that look like? What would happen right now in the next week, next 2 weeks? You went all out massive action and got 25 people presented this opportunity. Would you become an executive? All day long. So we got to go all out massive action right when? Now. Right now is the time. 2 steps. How many steps? 2. Step 1 is what? 25 prospects. Step 1 is what? 25 prospects. Step 1 is what? 25 prospects. That's what we got to focus on. Right when? Now. That's it. Okay? That's the main focus coming out of this event today. Okay? First thing you got to do is get committed. All of you guys are probably registered by now. You're probably registered. If you're not registered for the movement convention, by now, I'm sure you can see clearly how important it is to make sure that you're registered. Okay? Making sure that you're registered. Now, step number 2. How many of you guys are ready for step number 2? Yeah. Yes. Okay, this is it right here. Okay? Step number 2. Here it is, step number 2. Now, we already know what step number 1 is. Step number 1 is, guess what? 25 prospects. Now, how fast are you allowed to do that? Speed and exposure. Speed and exposure. Think about it, man. All out massive action. What would happen if you just said, hey, look, you know what? Are you allowed to do it in a day? Yes. What if, let me ask you a question. Can you introduce 25 prospects in the course of a year? Yes. Could you do that? Yes. Then you can do it in a day. Yes. Same exact work. How many of you how long does it take for you to clean your car? 20 minutes, 30 minutes? Maybe an hour? Maybe 15? Right? Whatever. Everybody's different. Some people break out the Armor All, they get all over it. So we already know how long it takes, right? Yeah. But we're not going to ask how many people have dirty cars right now. Right. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Right. So it's, guess what? It's not about how long it takes. It's about doing it. Right. Do you guys catch that? Right. Everybody here, you can put 25 prospects in front of the upline presenter in a very short time frame. You can do that. You can do it in a year. You can do it in a week. You can do it in a month. You can do it in 6 months. You can do it in 10 years. It's the same work, though. And I can tell you right now, it's easier to do fast than it is to do slow. Because you get momentum. So why don't we just go all out massive action and make it happen right when? Now. Let's just go all out. What are we waiting for? Well, you know what? That seems uncomfortable. We already know that that's the only way to grow. The only way for us to grow is to step out of our comfort zone. To accept the mission and go all out. To say, man, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to win. I'm going to make it happen right now. This is it. I'm not worried about anything other than what I do coming out of this event, coming out of this weekend right now. This is my time. This is my chance. I'm going to win. That's the mindset that we've got to have. So step number 2, how many of you are ready for step number 2? Yes. We already know. Step number 1, 25 prospects, right win? Now. Right win? Now. Easy to say, different to do. So how do you introduce a business to 25 people? One person at a time. 2 people at a time. You got to make a phone call. What if they say no? Then who cares? Then we look and say, what could we have done better? And we learn from it. And then we start to grow myelin. And we start to become better. And we start to develop skill sets. We start to become successful. Here it is, you guys. Step number 2. Step number 2. Here's it is. Step number 2. Step number 2, we're going to talk about step number 2 when you get done with step number 1. Would you guys agree with that? You know what I mean? Someone's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do step 2. Well, great. Let's do step 1 first. Okay, first let's get step 1 done. Don't worry about step 1 million. Step 2, we'll talk about whenever you get done with step 1. Get 25 people in front of us right when? Now. Now's the time, you guys. Now's the time like never before.